Good morning. Happy Wednesday. First things first, drop and give me 100 push-ups right now. Did you start? I'm counting. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm just kidding. April Fools. In case you didn't know, today was April 1st, 2020. All right, so you can pull a joke on your parents, pull a joke on your brother, your sister. But first, let's do some math. All right, so for today, we're going to be doing chapter 12.1. All right, which is a lesson on 2D and 3D shapes, all right, two-dimensional and three-dimensional shapes. And we are going to be doing them in our workbook as well as our visual learning video. So if you have your math workbook out, you can open it to page 466. We're going to be doing that in a little bit. First, we're going to do the video together, and then we'll get to the workbook pages, all right? So here we go.
How do you sort objects? Let's take a look.
What shapes do you see?
All right, so here you have 4 shapes in this box, all right? Now I want you to take a second here, yell out all the shapes that you see. Okay, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your dog, tell your cat. Yell out each shape that you see in this box. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds. Point to it. Make sure you say 4 different shapes, and now let's see if you got it right.
You see a hexagon, circle, square, and rectangle.
If you got all 4 of those right, let me hear you say, "Oh yeah."
What word does Emily use to describe these shapes? She uses the word flat. In what ways are these shapes the same?
Okay, so you can give some ideas, give some of your thoughts here. Tell somebody sitting near you, what ways are these shapes the same? Okay, how are these shapes all the same? Let's hear some ideas. Let's hear some ideas. Make sure you're yelling it out nice and loud.
They are all flat. Flat shapes are also called two-dimensional shapes. What is another shape Emily could put in this box?
All right, so I want you to think. What other shape, a flat shape, do you know that can go in this box? Okay, any flat shape you can think of it, put it in your head, tell someone next to you. I want you to yell it out in 3, 2, 1.
You could put a triangle in the box.
Well, you said triangle.
What objects do you see in this box? You see a soccer ball, a basket, a tissue box, a curved block, a traffic cone, a can, and a tent. How are the objects in this box different from the objects in the first box?
So in that first box, we had a bunch of two-dimensional shapes, flat shapes. All right, in this box, I want you to think about how these shapes are different. What do you know about these shapes that make them different? Okay. I'll give you a few seconds here. Let's see what they say.
The objects in this box are thicker. They are three-dimensional shapes. These shapes are also called solids.
All right, so if you said they were solid, if they're thicker, if you called them three-dimensional shapes, if you already knew they were 3D shapes, then great job. All right, let's see what else.
What is another object Emily could put in this box?
So I want you to tell me an object. Yell it out, any object. I see a cone, a soccer ball. What else can go in here? Anything you can think of that's a solid could go in this box. All right, so I know Emily is going to tell you that an orange can go in this box. If you said some kind of fruit, you got it right. If you said some kind of sports ball, you got it right. Any object that's solid goes in that box, okay? So we are going to move on to our workbook now. All right, so like I said, page 466. If you already have it open, great job. If you don't have it open, pause the video. You can take your time to get it out, and then we will walk through. So just an example of what the next few problems are going to look like here. All right, they want you to draw a circle around some objects that are flat. Okay, this circle, this triangle are flat shapes here. And then they want you to put an X on the objects that are solid, like this pyramid, okay? Like this box of cereal, all right? It's a solid, it's thick, all right? It's a thick object, a thick shape. Okay, so those are solids. All right, so we're gonna go down to this page, number 2, and I know number 2 and number 3 have the same directions here, so we're just gonna do those together, all right? So for number 2 here, I want you to do the same thing as above. You are going to circle the flat shapes and put an X over the solid shapes. So for number 2 and number 3, you're putting a circle around the flat shapes and putting an X over the solid shapes. Now, don't be tricked. Number 3 might have more than 2 of each. All right, number 1 I know tries to keep it 2 and 2. I hope you got that answer right. Number 3, when we go back and check here, I think we're going to see that there's 3 solid shapes. All right, so for number 2, you should have put an X over this cube. It's a solid shape. You should have put an X over this marble. It's a solid shape. We know that's a solid, thick object, right? This right here is a flat shape, and right here we have another flat shape, so you should circle these 2. All right, down here for number 3, we have a cone. Okay, that's an X. We put an X on that one. That's a solid shape. This cylinder here, put an X over that. This watermelon, I know that's a solid shape. Put an X over that one. And you should have circled this triangle, right? That's a flat shape. All right, so now we're going to do 2 different things for numbers 4 and 5 here. Okay, so number 4, we're marking the object that is not flat, okay? So you're going to mark some objects that are not flat. Put an X over them, the ones that are not flat. They're trying to trick you here, so number 4. All right, you're going to do those. And a little hint here, you should have 2 objects that are not flat that you put X's over. Okay, parents, you can check to make sure they got those right. Number 5, we are going to mark an X on the objects that are not solid, okay, that are not solid. So we have the shapes here that if this is a solid, which I think it is, okay, I'm going to do nothing to that one. Is this a solid? No, it's not. I'm going to put an X over this one. Is this a solid? Yes, it is. We leave that one there. Is this box a solid? Yes, it is. Okay, so we leave this one just as it is. All right, so you should have only put an X over this purple box right here. All right, so now we're going into the independent practice at the bottom here, number 6, 7, and 8, okay? Parents at home, if you can do 6, 7, and 8, make sure your children get this one right, okay? You can check it off. Once they're done with this 6, 7, and 8, all right, they are going to go into their class practice. All right, so I'm going to just walk you through real fast. Again, once you finish the workbook for the day, you're going to have your work that you do in under My Work, all right? In the Kids tab, it's going to look a little different than mine. So you go through Clever, all right? You go through Pearson Realize. Okay, when you go through Pearson Realize, it's going to have that area where you can click My Work. And remember, today we're doing 12.1, 12-1. You're going to do the interactive practice buddy. You're going to do the quick check. Just those 2 things, okay, those 2 things here. And they should walk you through it, okay, just to show you a little preview. The interactive practice buddy is going to read the problems to you. The quick check is going to read the problems to you. All right, and you just have to remember to hit the arrow at the bottom. Okay, you're going to hit next and next until you get them all done. Once you're finished with those, you submit them to me, and you are all done with the Pearson math for the day. Okay, the only thing you have left on your math lesson plan for today is some iReady math time. Okay, so you can go on iReady Math. You can finish that. All right, but just turn those 2 quick check and practice buddies in. Your workbooks you keep to yourself. You fill them in. You don't have to post a picture or anything like that. So just do the quick check and the practice buddy online and then submit that. All right, that's it for math. Hope you have a great rest of your day.